nice class of lightweight market cattle to start the colored board and bred show. For me, I'm going to use the steer. I think he's just the one that's the most massive when you get on top of him, and actually surprises you for how much finish he does have when you go into handle him. For me, though, I would like to change the way he gets out of that hip and hind legs, square him up there out of his hip and make him go a little freer there from hock to pastern, but still a very product-oriented kind of steer to go ahead and win this born bred class. The young ladies market heifer, another one that's finished pretty well, respective to her weight. One that still has enough mass up high. One I just like to change when you go to the ground there. She gets a little narrow as she goes away from you, and a little shorter in her stride out of that hip and hock. And then the young man's Hereford steer, one that's just the plainer made kind of calf out here. Definitely a good kind of cattle. Appreciate his rib and body. Just one that we need more muscle there. Nice set of steers. Go ahead and give him a nice round of applause. Thank you. Another good class of steers here, and for me, the young man steer is the one that just kind of wins pretty handily. Not only is he the one that really catches your eye from balance and eye appeal standpoint, but he is the one that when you get right on top of him, he's the biggest hip kind of calf out here, and one that maybe like to free up how he moves off of that hock, but still one that a really nice steer that still handles with some finish. For me, the decision's really between second and third in this class, and I think when you get on top of him, the young man steer just has a little more beefy shape coming right out of that shoulder. He might not move quite as freely there out of his hip and hock, but with that extra power and dimension, I went with him over the young lady's steer here in third. A good kind of cattle, real practical in his rib shape, and young lady's done a nice job with feeding him. We just need more of him to move up into this class. As we round out with the black Hereford steer here, just the narrowest and lightest muscled one of this four. When you get on top of him and handle him, he's just the plainest in his shape there over his loin edge. Nice set of steers. Give him a nice round of applause. Thank you. Really, really nice class of steers here, and one I think the Richland County cattlemen can get behind and be pretty proud of all four of these steers in here. These young showmen have done an excellent job with these, and these top two, I think you could flip them either way. For me, it's describing the differences, and for me, I just like the way that black steer is put together a little bit better. He's a little flatter in his shoulder, he's truer at the ground, and when he goes away from you, he's certainly a little wider there as well, and a little more coordinated off that hip and hock. Plus the fact that he's a little smoother over that 12th and 13th allows me to put him in the win. For me, the smoke steer I really like his power and mass, but for me, he just gets a little piecier in his design. He's a little more opened up in his shoulder, toes out when he comes at you up front, and he gets a little patchy there when you feel over his ribs as well. The young lady definitely done a nice job getting this steer fit and ready to come to town. One that in this top three just gets the narrowest underneath and just gets overpowered by those top two. And the young lady steer here that's going to round out the class. Another good kind of cattle, just one that is more restricted in his movement when he gets on the move, but still, young lady's done a nice job with him. Give these young cattlemen a nice round of applause. Thank you. A pretty straightforward class here. Young lady steer, just the one that's just the best put together steer. I realize he's getting up into that 1450 range, but in all reality, that's not too big for today's industry standard when they're wanting those 900-pound carcasses. And I think a steer that is just the most optimum in his finish and muscle to go ahead and win this class. The young man's steer here in second certainly offers a lot of balance and eye appeal when he gets him on the stand. One that just gets a little straighter off of both ends when you get him going. The young lady's calf that rounds out the class. Good kind of cattle, nice, practical, easy feeding steer. Just one that's the plainest in his shape and design and balance to round out the class. Nice set of cattle. Go ahead and give them a nice round of applause. Thank you. nice class of heavyweight steers to go ahead and round your born and bred show up with. And I really like this black calf here. When he gets out on the lead, he's real nice. Balance-wise, he motors pretty good, and one that in this class probably just does the best combination of show appeal, balance, and finish. Nice steer that young lady has. I really like the look and extension of this big smoke calf. I just wish we could moderate him a touch there. He could actually use a few more days on feed. He's getting a little bit bare over that 12th and 13th rib yet, but still one that you got to really appreciate for his look and stoutness and extra width up high. And the young man's steer that he runs out the class with, the young man's done an excellent job of getting this calf market ready. He's certainly a practical, easy feeding kind of one. Just one that gets the plainest out here in his look and balance. Nice set of steers. Give these exhibitors a nice round of applause. Thank you. as we wrap up here, the Born Bred Show, try to get through this here so you guys can get on to the main event tonight, the big steer show. But nothing to take away from these Born Bred exhibitors. I think these exhibitors all the way through have done an excellent job of feeding these calves, and a lot of them, have been with these calves probably since the time the breeding decision came to get those cows bred, and been with them the whole way through. And I think all these exhibitors should be commended for that. And the Richland County Cattlemen's done a nice job of helping these exhibitors out and put a nice show together here this afternoon for everyone. For me, though, it does come down to 2 or 3 steers out here that I think are in contention for your grand champion. I won't go through here and talk about each one individually so you guys can keep moving, but I think there's 2 or 3 that just kind of meet my criteria in terms of muscle, finish, and putting it together with some balance and a nice show ring look with a good structure to let that calf motor around the ring and still look like a show steer. So without further ado here, I'll go ahead and give them one more look and pick a champion for you. Give these exhibitors a nice round of applause. Thank you.
Take a couple pictures here, and then they can bring the judge up whenever. I mean, we had to do the rate of gain for the dairies, and then we can slow down a little bit on them, Yeah, so it's 6:18. Or we could say we can start at 6:30. 6:18 now. Let's start. By the time we get pictures of that, I don't care, whatever you want to do.
Okay, folks, after pictures, we're going to do our rate of gain champion, national anthem, and then we're going to start with the dairy steers. First class will be non-sale, then we'll go into class number 1. If you see a blue line